Joining us right now is Tennessee Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn. Good to see you, Congresswoman. Thanks so much for joining us.
Sure.
So Senator Paul was apparently unhappy with the prospect of keeping Obamacare's Medicaid expansion. Now, I spoke with Rand Paul just last week on Sunday, and he believes his plan is the plan that will work, but it does not include that. President Trump campaigned on replacing the entire Affordable Care Act. Now Republicans are pushing back on keeping parts of the law. What do you want to see happen?
Maria, I think the thing to do is to execute a repeal, do as much as we can possibly do through reconciliation, and then utilize Secretary Price and the 1,400 allowances that the Secretary is given the power to make those health care decisions in the Affordable Care Act. So that is delegated to the Secretary. Let's pull down the rest of this and then get back to patient-centered health care. Provide more options. Open up the health insurance marketplace. Look at the three components, which are health insurance, delivery of care, and reimbursement of that care to the providers. And make certain our providers are made whole and that people have more options, not fewer options, that networks that have narrowed are able to broaden back out so that individuals can get the care they need.
Steve Hilton, you want?
Yeah, I think that all of that sounds great. The messaging we heard yesterday from Ryan and the others sounded great to me. But the question I've got for you, and you'll know the process very well, what can we expect in terms of the specifics of the plan? Who is actually going to present that? Is that going to come from Price? Is it going to come from you in Congress? Will you do it together?
Well, Rand Paul's plan.
And how quickly can we expect it?
Yes, and you can go back to 2010. We've had provisions that are there. I've had the across-state line purchase of health insurance bill since 2009. You have Chairman Walden from Energy and Commerce, my committee, and Chairman Brady from Ways and Means, the Tax Committee, and they're the ones who are bringing forward the components, making certain that we open this marketplace back up, that we get in here and we look at some of the problems that exist that people wanted fixed back in 2010. Things like portability, being able to own their own insurance policy, being able to take it where they go, transparency in cost of care and delivery, and there are now some transparency tools in the marketplace, utilization of telemedicine, and making certain that there is a reimbursement structure through CMS for that. That allows our rural health care entities to triage individuals where they are rather than having to transport them to a facility and incur that inconvenience and that cost.
Congressman, we want to move on to this border tax proposal, because this is certainly creating debate within Washington as well as the country. Do you believe that a tax reform package will happen within the first 200 days? Will we see what this plan looks like? And do you expect it to be implemented second half of the year to include a border tax?
Yes, I do think that you're going to see the legislation come forward, and probably the lowering of the marginal rates. Maria, I think that's what we'll end up doing first. You all were talking about income and getting that take-home pay up for individuals. You do that so people can reset their withholdings with lower rates. Then I think the business tax component will come next. I'm not a fan of the border tax. I have two of my constituent companies, Tractor Supply Company and AutoZone, that will be in that meeting with the president today. I think that this is a tax that ends up getting passed to the consumer. I think we need to find a better way to address it.
So you're not a fan either, Jenkins?
So why did Speaker Ryan and Congressman Brady put it in the Republican tax reform bill or ideas last year?
I don't know why they chose to move forward with that. I know they're seeking to find a way to equalize a treatment on this. It is something that I'm just not a fan of, knowing that some of the retail companies, there are others in Tennessee, but the two I mentioned are with the president today, that they feel like it becomes a compliance issue for them. And I'll give you another example, Dagan. A small retailer in my district, lifestyle store, went around. Items made from 20 countries were in that store.
Yeah.
And their question to me was, am I now responsible for all of this? And how would I handle that? So I think with more people doing direct importing, it does become a different issue, and it's something we need to be very thoughtful on. And, you know, it's not my favorite, it's not my choice of how we would move forward.
Will you be able to get rid of it?
We'll see. You know, the business portion, I think, is still, they are negotiating and looking at that. I do hope we move forward on the marginal rate. So that would help with our sub-S, our LLCs, our pass-through entities. Let's get those rates lowered and let people reset those withholdings.
Yeah, and that's certainly what the market has been expecting. Congressman Blackburn, it's great to see you as always.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much, Marsha.